Hello, welcome back. In this video, we're going to learn about switch case statements. Switch case statements basically let you check if a value stored in a particular variable is something, and if it's true, do some execution or execute a bunch of statements, and then if the value is something else, do something else. So in that case, it's kind of similar to if else, but if else lets you check for different conditions, but switch case basically lets you check for only equality if the value is this. But switch case makes the code a little more readable if you have to write a lot of those equality conditions. You would keep writing if you do it in if else, you would have a lot of else if blocks, but switch case lets you do it in a more readable way, and it gives you a little bit of flexibility too, which I'm going to show. Let's create a new class and name it switch case and create your main method. And in here, the goal of this program is going to be to take an integer which can have a value of 1 through 7, and if the day is 1, we will display it's Monday. If the day is 2, we'll display Tuesday, and so on. Now let's see how to do it with switch instead of the if else. The syntax goes like this. You type switch, just follow along, I will explain in a little bit. And then within parentheses, you will display what is the variable you are checking. In this case, it's day, so we'll type day. And then as always, you have curly braces to define the switch block. Now inside that, this is where the second part comes, switch case, right? The case. So you type case and say 1 and a colon. In here, you can type system.out.println. It's Monday. You need a break here. I'll tell you what it's for in a little bit. And then you type case 2, you system.out.println. It's Tuesday. Now and then a break, obviously. And from now on, I'm going to just copy paste. So you don't have to wait to see me type the whole thing. 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to paste again. I'll explain a little bit why. And this is going to be 3. As you can see, you cannot check for the same case. Java alerts, you cannot add a duplicate case. So 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is going to be something called a default. For now, just follow along. Make sure you have all this code. I'll explain what's going on here. Wednesday, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, then Sunday. And in here, I'm going to say, please enter a valid day. From that statement, you probably guessed what default does, but let's try to run this program, see what we get, and then we'll go into the details. So right click, run as Java application. So we got it's Monday and the day is 1. So we got the output. Let's change it to 4. Run it again. It's Thursday, which is good. So it works. So what's going on here? We said switch day. So it's going to look for what value stored in day variable. And we're saying if the variable has 1, that is case 1, display these statements. If the day is 2, display these statements, and so on and so forth. Now, if you change this to 10 and then run it, you're going to get please enter a valid day. So if none of these cases were true, then default would execute. But if any of these cases were true, default wouldn't, right? So that's what the default is. It's basically like the final else block that you write without any condition, which would execute if none of the other if conditions were satisfied. And why do we need the break? So the way switch case works is once one particular case is true, it would just start executing all the statements that are coded here, right? If you don't have a break, so let's change this back to 1, or let's change it back to 5, right? And we want it's Friday displayed, but let's remove this break and see what happens. Run it. Oh, now you got it's Friday and it's Saturday. What happened here was when case 5 became true, Java just started executing all the statements. It executed this, and then there is no break, so it executed this. So at that point, that is when a particular case becomes true, Java starts checking for cases and it just starts executing all the statements. So if you don't have a break, it will just continue executing everything. It would even execute what's in default, right? Until it encounters a break or encounters the end of the switch case block itself. This can come in handy. For example, if the goal of this program is once a particular day becomes true, display what are the remaining days in the week, right? So once Wednesday becomes true, display Wednesday through Sunday, right? What are the days that are qualified? In that case, you could easily do this, which you cannot do in if. That's the flexibility I talked about. By just taking out the breaks, you can just display Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if that's your goal, right? But if it's only Friday that you want, then you just include the break and the program will automatically start executing that way. So that's basically switch case. And we used integer here. You could use characters, which is the single character variable, or strings also. You cannot use any other type in switch case. But switch case helps in a lot of ways to create readable code. It's very flexible as well. If you have special requirements like executing multiple blocks once a case becomes true. So that's basically switch case. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.